So you do that on every cut?
No, 90.
Like all the way to the cut station?
Yeah, dude. Do you have another job I can do or something? This guy's driving me nuts. Oh, hey, Ray. Why didn't you tell me he was there?
We are back on site this morning and we're going to get the steel in these footings and the bulkheads. But first we're doing this. We're pulling the string lines back. Yeah, to check that our block is going to hit, you know, on the middle of the footing is what we're shooting for. We found one corner right there that needs a little bit chiseled out so that it'll hit more directly in the middle, and think we're ready to go after that. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, but it was a real challenge with the excavator on this much slope.
Oh, here it comes.
To get it
here
level.
they come, dude. Here they come. Oh, I don't want to mention it was really hard to dig on a slope. Whatever, bro.
As I was saying, it was very challenging on this slope with the excavator to get it, you know, where I thought it was level and get the bucket aligned, because I couldn't always get like straight on the footing like you would if it's on a flat ground. So I'm not shocked that we had this area that was out of alignment, and there may be more. Arlo and I are going to go around and set the grade pegs, and these are at varying heights because we stepped the footings. If you watched the previous video, it's about 10 feet in elevation difference from this corner to that corner being lower. So right now we've got the laser set on this elevation. We're going for at least 8 inches of concrete. The code here is 6 inches really because it's one story only, but we want at least 8 just to play it safe. And so we're just going to run our way around, raising the reader up on the laser stick as we go, so that we can get these all about 8 inches thick, even though all the footings are at different elevations. For any of these that we can't beat in the ground far enough because it's rock, we're just gonna make a mark with a Sharpie and then zip the stake off with our grinder. And that does happen here. It's not like sandy soil, it's rocky under here.
Eric and Arlo are getting pretty far ahead with the grade pegs, and so the next step is to work in this 5/8 steel. We're setting it on some rebar chairs, and after we make the step downs, then I can add what we call the bulkheads, which is just a piece of plywood formwork that's going to hold the concrete and allow us to make a step down to the next level. We wait till all the steel is in place because it's really difficult to fish that stuff up underneath and not bump it, and you know it's set at a very precise elevation, so we can't be knocking around, you know. So I'm going to start measuring for this first one and see how we can get it to be installed without too much great struggle. Not the easiest thing to do, but they have made a beautiful double 90 there with a 16-inch offset. Right.
Eric, you should be a medical doctor. You're looking really professional, dude.
I am. I got 3 boys, so I practically am a medical doctor. You notice Ray isn't even flexing for this shot.
Yeah, you think
You
you'd
need
be
to
kind
pump
of...
that thing out.
You think you'd
All
be
right,
like...
there we go.
Up for it.
Arlo's got the first bulkhead going in here, and Jamie's cut it to fit his notches in the dirt, and that'll really help it stay put. And since that's Advantech, I don't think we're gonna have to do like an anchor point with a piece of wire in the middle like we've done before. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's it. A little more.
Down a touchy.
So you can see this is gonna work a lot like the locks in a canal for the concrete. Basically to go out level, then drop, then out level, then drop.
It's good. I wouldn't hit it down anymore.
You like that analogy?
3-foot rod.
Yeah, I do. I like that. I heard that. Like the locks in a canal. I didn't know where you're going with that.
These bulkheads are cut the exact amount of step down we're doing. So this one's 24 inches. So the concrete coming out the bottom there will also be on grade for this elevation of the footing. So it's not that complicated. It's just a lot of them. And there is a lot of force on them. So if you don't reinforce them or do them in such a way where the concrete can blow them out, and basically you'll have a big mess. That's happened to us before. Jamie's down here in the ditch, and he's lighting it up, and he ate sardines for lunch. So Jason has renamed these sardines Shardy. Look, Arlo is barely in safe distance there.
Where did I say those things are from?
Are they from Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Chicago.
We've used different methods over the years for installing these bulkheads, but I think this is a pretty effective method here by kind of trenching in or knifing in a little groove for it to slot down in. And I don't dig it all the way down though, actually. I didn't tell you this, Eric, but I'm actually leaving it a little bit high so that when I set it in there, it is high. And then when I take the level off of the last grade peg, I can actually hammer it down and
It'll stay.
it'll give it a little bit of firmness to resist being pushed down, like if
Or
somebody
just falling.
stepped on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm driving in these angled pieces of rebar and tying them through by drilling holes through the wood and tying some wire on them.
It is pretty quick. I like this method.
It's pretty quick, it's pretty easy. I don't have to think a lot. And then I might actually add one vertical rebar in the center just to keep it from pushing. I don't think it would bend and break. I really don't. But just for my added security, I think I'll add one more.
Why are they on that table though?
You know.
Oh, I see. He's got a 2-foot turn down
he had a piece
that he's
hanging
dealing
down
with.
that he
I got
needed
you.
to,
I see what you're doing now.
They actually do have a good reason to be
Yeah.
up there, which is, you know, surprising.
Got all of our grade pegs in, and we started at this corner, came down till our stick ran out of height here, and then we went from that corner till our stick ran out of height about there. Then I moved the laser from up there to down there to finish, reset the stick where I thought it should be based on one of the pins we had already set, and we worked the bottom back up to here. Now I've moved the reader down the stick to where it should be if everything has come out correctly and we move the laser and reset everything correctly. This should come out to like spot on 0.8 when I check this one. So we're gonna check it out here. I haven't done this yet. I'm gonna see if we did it right. Okay, we're there. We did it.
I heard a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda, did what the other thing was, reset it to this and that, and I just hope you get it right.
It's right, I just checked it.
It's right.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, lasers do magic.
It's good. I tell you what, when we start laying blocks on this, it'll be interesting to see if he was perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we haven't checked the like diagonal or length measurements that they did with the Geomax shuttle station.
You seem pretty.
Yeah. Should we check it? I mean, we could pull a tape and drop a string and see if it's kind of too late though. It's stealing here. I don't think we should check
what we
it.
might want to do is we might want to do it after we pour it because we could adjust it a little bit then on the footing.
on the
to get
footing.
it,
Yeah.
you know, where we need to be.
Right. A lot to think about.
But I bet it's. It looked pretty. Let's put this. The two lines looked really good. This one,
Yeah.
that front one, and that one looked really good. So.
Is this 24?
62, 24, 62, 24, 62, 24.
And 6 foot.
6 foot, 62 and 24 inches.
6 foot, 62, 24.
He's got a brain like an elephant.
This video is brought to you by Factor Meals, and they deliver fresh, never frozen, delicious, and nutritious meals right to your doorstep that are ready in about 2 minutes. So if you're too busy to cook this fall by trying to get your kids run everywhere, get to sports, and get to work like I am, and you still want to eat well, I'd make sure to check them out. With Factor, you can skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutrition and the quality you need. And if you need an extra boost to support your wellness goals and feel your best for the rest of summer, try Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of proteins or more per serving. You can also get breakfast stuff and snacks, and there's plenty of options, so it's not like I'm eating the same thing every day. There's 34 plus chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options, and they have eclectic flavors. They're not plain Jane. So this September, get Factor and enjoy eating without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use our code Perkins50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. That's factor75.com. Use code Perkins50 and get 50% off your first box.
What kind of shovel is this?
I don't know. I think I've heard it called a trenching shovel,
Oh, that makes sense.
but I've never used it for that.
It works great for this.
Yeah, I sharpened it up a little bit too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, for cutting
Nice.
roots, it's probably
Yeah.
dull by now again, but
I'm glad you told me that before I got my finger cut. in
yeah,
there or
don't be doing that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
that's working great. Trenching shovel, it's nice and short, sharp. It doesn't have as much surface area at the end.
yeah, it's
All good
great.
things for this.
And you can scoop out that dirt that falls in beside the
Look at that right
beside the rebar. Yep, it's nice.
It's a beautiful
A
thing.
regular shovel's too wide for that.
We had one spot here where the top of our footing's above what the grade is now. So Arlo built some little side dams out of stuff.
I would say it's a stupid idea, but
Hey, come on, dude.
No, it's a great idea.
Where'd all those roots come from?
We'll have dirt, higher than that after the concrete cures and is hard. But for now, it will just flow out of there if we don't have that. Tubbo Towel,
What's Brett gonna do with this?
still not our sponsor, but still works good. We just need to make our own Tubbo Towel. Yeah,
Right?
Bucket O Towel. I don't know if I've seen that move too often.
They don't teach you this.
Is that how you measure around corners?
They don't teach you in carpenter school how to do this. 20. Look at that. Oh man, we're gonna measure the whole thing here.
Jamie and Ray are going around measuring the width and the depth of our concrete pour that's going to happen. We used a 2-foot bucket, but I'll bet it's more like 27, 28 inches width average.
I don't know yet,
Oh, you haven't done that
but I bet you're right.
And
You cut it really pretty tight though. I mean, it's not sloppy. It looks good. I'm impressed.
wow.
I mean, I meant to say I'm surprised.
What's your guess on yardage here?
I think it's going to be between 10 and 12 yards. I'd say it averages 26 inches. It's even wider at the top, but the concrete's not filling up to the top, so it's only down in that bottom part. And the depth average, I'm going to go with 9 inches, I think.
Okay.
To be conservative, meaning that we'll have extra left over, and then I will add some overage to that just to be certain. But again, you don't want to buy way more than you can use. We don't have another thing to pour it in out here,
Besides the back of your truck.
176 feet around. That's what we're counting by 2 feet wide. If I just do that, that equals 13 cubic yards. Now that is accounting for it being a foot thick, which it's not, but it's also a little wider than the 2 foot. So there's a little bit of give and take there. If I do the absolute accurate, I'm going to take 176 and multiply it by 2.2 feet. That's 26 inches about. And then the depth of 9 inches, which is 0.75 of a foot. You do all that, you get 10.75 cubic yards. So basically 11. So it is
So-
between 11
And 13.
and 13.
12?
I mean, that's between. I think 12 is safe. I do. I think 12 is safe.
Now,
to
did you
get.
count all the bulkheads?
I did. I sort of included them in the lineal foot count. Okay, so here's where it is. The actual foundation on the flat, if there's no bulkheads, is 144 feet around.
Okay.
So the additional, you know,
the bulkheads are like areas where it's 2 or 3 levels of 8-inch.
Yes,
thick.
I accounted for another 30 feet of footing that doesn't exist in the. I'm getting a message. It doesn't exist in the perimeter. Another 30 feet of layers of
I don't
footing.
know. I say you go 13 then.
13? You think so?
Yeah.
You think
I mean, some of those bulkheads are a lot of concrete.
They are. They get really mad, by the way, if you just order another half yard when they're done and they have to come back here.
Yeah,
this is not close to the concrete plant, by the way.
It's
this
like
is
over an hour round trip drive.
It's not good.
13's the number.
Okay, we'll get 13. And if there's 1 yard extra of waste,
it's cheaper than ordering 1 more yard.
So be it. Yeah. So be it. It smells dead around my truck, and I was like, man.
It's probably your engine. Maybe somebody pranked him.
No, everything under here looks.
Oh, you're not supposed to dump in the back of your truck?
Arlo's pulling our string lines back to our reference pins so we can locate the real corner of the house. You'll see it in just a second. Come on, Arlo. Right. All right, we'll check back in a minute. We've got our 2 strings pulled, but they're not like touching, and I don't think we're gonna make them touch because that's as low as we can get that string. So we're gonna take a plumb bob and drop it right down the corner of both of those to get our actual corner. Then we're gonna set our rebar 4 inches offset from that, and then on like a 4-foot grid from that. And that will get the rebar exactly in the cores of the block, is the hope. If they don't come out in the cores, you gotta, I don't know what you do. It's a mess. It's happened to us. Yeah, start over.
My legs are about to give out straddling this ditch.
Hurry up. All right, 16. We now have tick marks on our string line at each location for each of the turnups. And I'm gonna plumb down at each of those, then offset 4 inches that way will be the center of the block in this direction, and then we can stick them. That's probably like 5 inches.
I always try to add a little bit more. I mean.
Yeah, I bet you did.
We're measuring the flatness off of the driveway over to the edge of the house here. We're gonna call that our 0 point where that piece of white trim is. And we're measuring how tall would the foundation have to be flush with the surface of the driveway. It's 56 inches. That equals 7 courses of block. 7 is flat. 8 would give us 8 inches higher to get our slope for the grade, but then we're still at 0 inches above grade.
Right, and we need a slope away.
9er.
9.
And then it's 10 feet lower.
No, that's a full basement wall. If you
Yeah.
came up to level
2 basements. That's way taller than I was expecting or hoping for as far as the foundation on this side. The only other option is to lower the driveway, but then your driveway is coming down like way steep, you know, at your house, which I don't like.
You know what I don't like about that? You're inviting more water.
Yeah.
Come in, come
Or
this
inviting
way.
your car if the
Right
parking
here.
brake goes off.
Water, come here in my front door. Just flow right through the house, please. No, can't do that. Leave the driveway. Let's talk about our J-bar here. This bar serves a very special job. It's to resist lateral pushing of the weight of the dirt against this wall from sliding the block wall off of the footing, which could happen if there was nothing connecting the block wall to the footing that was substantial. So what we did here is we welded a very short little stake onto it that allows us to set this in the dirt ahead of time before the pour and place it accurately. Now there's much debate about whether this metal stake will rust and whether that rust will travel all the way up and make this whole bar disappear. I don't think that's going to happen, not in the next several hundred years, I don't think at least, but I don't really know for sure. So maybe somebody has some information about that they could share and we could all get smarter. Now, as far as the weld goes, this is high tensile strength steel, I think, right? And I guess there's also a debate about whether you should weld to this kind of steel because the heat could somehow take away the temper. I don't know. All I know is I don't think this is going to bend or break because it's all going to be encased in concrete. And I think it can perform its job of resisting lateral force. So that's what I do know. I also know that the inspector is not going to be here during the pour, so I can't just set these in the concrete during the pour because he would have to verify that they got done correctly.
Yeah, wet set.
Wet setting. Now, wet setting would be fine, and there's plenty of applications when wet setting is acceptable. But for us, we need to have these in the ground so that they're inspected before the pour. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
I think I have it all accounted for. Now I just have to convert all these numbers into the actual quantity of blocks, which will really just take a minute, really.
So that's each wall surface, the four sides,
yeah.
like the square footage, basically.
Yeah, that's what I decided to do. And as we went, we decided how tall each wall section will be because we really didn't even know till just now.
Site determined.
We're going to say $20 to the guy that guesses how many block, the closest.
What do you think, Arlo?
44. You can't do any math.
No, just...
Because that's not a guess.
Well, but wait,
That's a calculation.
I'm taking an estimate.
This guy's
No. We're guessing. We're not
he's
estimating.
counting cards. He's disqualified.
I'm going to guess 1,000.
You think? Okay, I'm guessing 700.
I'm just looking at it and going, okay, if this was a whole foundation, because basically there's a foundation on the
See,
bottom
this is why
right
he's
there, and then there's a
disqualified.
big one on the
See,
top.
he was
know.
thinking too
I'm
much.
taking a guess.
No.
I'm guessing.
I'm going to bring a jar of jelly beans tomorrow. We're going to try. He's going to calculate them.
Do you have the final answer on the block?
Did the math. I even double checked.
What's the number?
1,021.
Wow, who said 1,000? Wasn't it $20? Isn't that what you said?
I need. Well, I just that was just to get people involved. There is no $20. All right. Did you win? Really?
Yeah, I said 1,000.
Oh.
I'll review the footage.
All right.
Or I'll modify the footage. I'm going to voice it over.
Your mouth.
1,000, and I'm going to put 26.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Yeah, he don't know. He's gonna edit it.
Yeah.
Eric,
Either way.
I think we have to wait until they're laid and see what actually goes in there.
See, that's why you got disqualified to start with.
Thanks for checking out our video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I got a huge announcement to make that we finally have the Perkins builder belt going to be back in stock in all sizes. It's called the Essential Belt this time. So here's what we did. We had the Perkins builder belt, which we did 1,000 of originally. They were awesome. They all sold almost immediately. There's mine right here, chilling out. Still in good shape. But when we needed to make some more, we decided, hey, why don't we check out all of the reviews, all of any sort of comments we got about the belt. So that's what we did. Read all of the comments, all of the reviews, made changes, and I also wanted to make it less expensive because it was expensive. Even though it was less expensive than something similar, it was still expensive. So we've got a new belt. I wore the prototype. It's right here for the entire last job. This is the Essential belt, we called it, and it's got a couple less features, but also improvements on anything that was not going as good as we'd hoped on the first belt. So there it is. A couple changes is that we changed the rigging here. We have more strap retention. We took these metal parts off right here because that was costing a lot of money, and we changed the buckle to a different brand, which costs a lot less money and actually worked as good or better. So we got the cost down to under $200 now, and they're ready for pre-order. So if you want to pre-order, you'll get another $10 off plus a free Perkins Builder Belt Pencil Pull Pro. That's a tongue twister. Anyways, it allows you to attach your pencil to like a lanyard, and it has a Perkins Builder Brothers logo on it. So we're really excited about the belt. I've got 2,000 of them. You can pre-order now. Thanks for building with us.